Welcome back to the SSL Family Dad channel. It is winter is finally upon us here in Michigan. It took a while this year. It's January and we finally have a little snow on the ground, and it looks like the weather is going to actually get cold. But I have an upcoming trip. I will be heading to Kenya to do some mission work there with a friend of mine, Greg. And so we're excited to do that, but that means I'm going to be leaving the homestead unattended. I'm going to be leaving the homestead with my wife and my girls. And so there's going to be some things they need to keep up on here. And so I want to make things as easy as possible for loading the wood burner. Especially, that's one of the biggest kind of daily chores that we have here. Taking care of the chickens and other things, I have already made that pretty much automated. But I want to get the wood set up for her so that she can easily load the wood stove. Hopefully there'll be no problems with it. So let me show you what we got to do. I have been splitting, and I have this enormous pile of wood. I still have a lot more to split here. A lot of maple and oak left in my pile, and I've got a lot of oak logs off to the side, and so that's going to be probably March's, this will be into March, this wood here. I have this that's fairly seasoned. This will be used here in the next couple weeks, and this will be used for January. A lot of this will be used while I'm gone, and so I want to get this from here over to the wood burner. I want to get it nice and close. What I usually do is I just take a wheelbarrow and I come over, I get the wood. This is just where I split it, process it, stack it. I usually just get a wheelbarrow full of wood and take it over and fill it in the morning, and then same thing at night. It's pretty easy for me, but I don't want my wife to have to do that. So we're going to stack as much wood right up here next to the wood boiler as possible. So we'll get the tractor out today. I'm going to try to move some of this around, get it a little closer to the wood splitter. I may even split a little bit of this just to get it out of the way. We'll get a path cleared here for the tractor. We'll come in and just load buckets of wood up. We'll stack them over here. I'll make a big pile, and then we're going to stack it up real pretty, kind of pretty for her. Well, we got about half the pile moved over there, and that's probably going to be enough for her. I'll stack the rest of this over in this area between the trees. And I tried to get most of these big logs. These are going to take quite a bit to split. These are enormous, and a lot of these I'll actually have to square up in order to get it under the splitter. So it needs to line up flat against the back of the splitter when I have it in the upright position there. So I need to cut off a flat side of this, and I'll have to actually move these underneath the splitter with the tractor. As best as I can, when I'm storing these logs, I like to keep them up on edge like this, or not touching the ground flat like that, because if you have one of these big logs like this flat to the ground, you know, it gets down to 15 degrees, that thing freezes solid into the dirt, and it's kind of hard to get up even with the tractor sometimes if they really freeze in there. So all these stored up like this, they can kind of continue to dry out a little bit on the days that it warms up. But I'll just keep moving these into the splitter and keep working on my wood. I think I have enough to get us into March here at least, and with that oak over there, might even reach April. So the next task is just to kind of stack this up in a fit and orderly way, as the Bible would say. We want to make sure that it can dry out a little bit over the next few weeks and make sure that it's easy to access and pull out. I don't want her to have to try to fight through a stack like this. And so I think I'll use the landscaping. I wonder how the SSL family mom will feel about that. We'll use the landscaping to stack along this edge right here. I was gonna put some T-posts in the ground, but I'm a little nervous to do that. There's a septic tank lid right here. There's a septic tank right here. Then the wood boiler water lines go somewhere through here. So I'm not gonna risk messing something up. I'm not gonna put anything in the ground here. So I'll just have to stack this stuff along here the best I can without T-posts. Well, I'll have to measure it, but I think that it'll be pretty close. That should be enough for 14 or 12 days. 12 days is what actually 11, because I'll load it the day I leave. I think that'll be pretty close, but I think I'm gonna grab a few more bucket loads just to square off the end of the stack. I think we can go all the way over to the end of this little retaining wall here and maybe get it a little bit higher. So we'll finish that off, and then that should be a good supply of wood. Well, that's the rest of it. Could probably put a little bit more up there, but I'll burn some of this. I'll burn some of this over the next few days. But that should do. That should last a couple weeks. I would say that's probably, if I had to guess, depending on the temperature, I'd say that's probably 2.5 weeks worth of wood, maybe 3. Well, I'm a little nervous leaving the homestead for this long. There's a lot of tasks that I handle around the homestead, and there's a lot that Lisa handles inside and outside. And so, you know, I feel like I'm abandoning her for a couple weeks here, and she's got a lot on her plate already. And so now she's going to have to add these tasks, which are a little bit more physical tasks, especially handling all this wood. So hopefully it's nice and close. The wood burner is right next to me. She'll just have to walk over, grab that wood, and load it right into the wood boiler. And so hopefully this thing will keep running well. I just cleaned it all out for her. It's all, you know, ashes cleaned out, and the reburn reaction chamber, all that stuff's been cleaned out. And so it should be ready to run well for her. So I've asked her to give you guys some updates while I'm gone. I'm going to give you guys a video while I'm there in Kenya. I will do a couple videos, at least 1 or 2 videos of life kind of over there and what we're doing. And then she will be giving you some video updates back here. And so we'll release those all when I get back. I'd love to hear from you. What roles do you and your wife, or wife and husband, whoever's watching, how do you divvy out the homestead task? Who does what around the homestead? Who takes care of the animals? Who takes care of wood burning or wood splitting, if that's something that you do? I'd love to hear from you guys. Give me an update. Throw those things down below. Thumbs up on today's video. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.